Greetings, Adventures. This is Lauren, your guild advisor, and I just got back from watching the Konosuba movie. If you haven't seen it yet and you have a showing on Thursday, you should definitely watch it, and it was pretty good. I wish JC's staff would put that type of effort towards DanMachi Season 2. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the DanMemo news for November 12th, 2019. And some of this stuff has already gone live, but let's just go over the rest of the 48-hour pickup gacha schedule. And you probably don't want to roll for them because you probably want to be saving up your iris for the new characters that were just revealed. We'll go over these characters anyway. Tonight you should have seen Countess Seer show up on the banners. These dates are based on Japanese Standard Time, so subtract the day if you live in the US like me. So 11:12 Countess Seer, 11:15, 11:14 if you're United States, The Shadow Fells, the 16th Elven Awakening Lafia, and then on the 18th, Valorous Elf, Eina. And that's the schedule for the rest of the pickup gacha characters. And again, even though some of them are buffed, you probably want to be saving that iris for the characters that are going to be revealed in the Christmas event. And we also had another free 11 draw for the Asia DanMemo first anniversary, so go ahead and roll on that with your free poll. Hopefully you guys had good luck if you already polled on that. And there's also a new paid bundle for the Asia first anniversary called the Hero Bundle, where you can get a Prism Assist Bond, a 1-year 4-star guarantee 11 draw ticket, 2 of them in fact, and a standard 11 draw ticket, and then Falna and Exilia books. Though there's probably going to be more impressive paid bundles for the Christmas event, so if you want to be spending your money, you probably want to save it for that, because it's likely going to be time limited. Probably is. And then for the Familia rush shall be happening starting tomorrow night. Based on this video, they went over the 3 stages, so let's go over them really quickly. For the first battle, we go against these dragonflies, or the Labulia Grandes, whatever they're called. They use magic attacks. Their attacks can stun, and they also debuff your magic resistance. As for their own resistances, they are neutral to earth, thunder, and dark. They are weak to fire by 50%. They are strong against wind, water, and light by 30%. They resist physical attacks by 30%, and they're neutral against magic. And as for the tip, it says, beware of magic resistance debuffs. Take precautions against their stun attacks, so either an assist or glorious anklets. Melodious Elf Lafia and Dazzling Elf Philbus with fire attacks and the insect killer ability can do great damage and are recommended. So they recommend you haul on the banners to do better during the Familia rush. But of course, if you have other fire magic characters like the Christmas Bell from last year or Elf's Honor Lafia, they should also work pretty well in that case. And then for the second battle, you'll be going against Deadly Hornets. They use physical attacks and they also can stun. They can also buff their own strength, and they also have an AoE resistance skill, so they can decrease the amount of damage they take from your AoE attack, so be careful about that. And as for their own resistances, they're neutral to wind, water, thunder, and dark. They're weak against light by 50%, and they are strong against fire and earth by 30%. They are neutral to physical attacks and resist magic attacks by 30%. As for the tip, enemies will use strength buffs to remove the buffs or debuff their strength. Take precautions against their stun attacks. Twilight Supporter Line and Twilight Cat Anna Kitty with light attacks and insect killer ability can do great damage and are recommended for your party. Pull for the banners and you'll do well. Again. But if you do have light characters that are physical attackers, like the recently buffed Sparkling Princess Eyes, you might be able to do some decent damage that way. And of course, a lot of people will just try and force Argo and Crotso, because those are 2 particular characters a lot of us have. And we have a lot of ways to decrease fire resistance and increase fire attack damage. And then for the third and final battle, of course, it's single target as always. It's the Hypno Butterfly. It uses both physical and magic attacks. It can also poison you, so watch out for that. And it also can debuff your physical and magic resistances. And as for its own resistances, it is neutral to earth, thunder, light, and dark. It's weak to fire by 30%. It's strong against wind and water by 30%. Weak to physical attacks by 30%, and strong against magic attacks by 30%. So, the new Eyes is particularly strong against it, and as you can see here in the hint, be aware it will debuff all your allies' physical and magic resistances. Take precautions against its poison attacks. Dancing Princess Eyes, there she is, with fire attacks and insect killer ability, can do great damage. It is recommended. So yeah, if you have that particularized from the event at a very high limit break and Hero Ascension. This is definitely the stage you probably want to be camping at, and then she's just going to be further increased with the near Hermes. If you have Apollo, that'll also work very well, and also Crotster and Argo will be making a living in this particular battle as well. So that's it for the 3 Familia Rush stages. Good luck to all your Familias. And into more exciting news, they just announced a new Christmas event titled Winter Reverie. And this is particularly exciting because we have Haruhime on here as well as a new Ryu. Can always be happy about that! But you can see new Take, new Haruhime, new Chigusa, new Ryu, and a new Hestia, which you can limit break to +5 just by farming the event. So she's the free event character. And courtesy of information from Gale Wright 6212 on Discord, during the live stream they had in Japan, they did say that this event is actually a 2-part event, and it's similar in length to Grand Day, which is the first anniversary Japanese event they held a year ago. So it's gonna be quite the lengthy event, and it's more than likely written by Fujino Omori himself, because he's the one that, the author Danmachi series, he's the one that like writes all the long events. So if it's going to be a long event, you can always imagine Omori-sensei is the one behind the scenario itself. And they did also release a PV, which I'll show in the description, but I also will watch it along with you guys because I want to give you my weeb translations, because no one, as far as I know, it hasn't been subtitled yet. And there are some particular things in here that I want to showcase. So without further ado, now, as I said before, it's selected by Fujino Omori, and I believe that's his signature right there, so you can see that he is indeed in charge of the scenario itself when it comes to this story. And there's quite a few original characters that I'm gonna pop up as well. And I did say I'd do my weeb translations, but I can only recognize certain words. I heard ski, she likes something. Something sama. I believe, and Haruhime seems to be I like you, Haruhime. I love you. So it seems Haruhime will probably be the central character during this event, and that marks an interesting point because I believe this is the first DanMemo event, original event, that we'll get that's supposed to take place after the events of Season 2. And there's the original character right there with the dual-colored eyes, heterochromia, and those reindeer antlers. So very interested to see who she is and what she does for the story. She probably has a friendship with Haruhime. Like I said, we're finally getting stories that are supposed to take place after Season 2, so hopefully we see more involvement from characters introduced from Season 2, like Haruhime you see here, Aisha, Daphne, Cassandra, and Take finally gets his due. He finally gets a 4-star character. And Chigusa looking very cute as well. It's crazy how much love DanMemo gives to some of these characters that don't necessarily get that much screen. And Ryu! It's right here! A new Ryu! Like, we haven't had too many Ryus, and then all of a sudden we get the War Game one, and then her again right here for the Christmas event. And this boy right here, the original character on the left, said Seigi, which means hero. So, stuff going down there. And there's Aisha. So, oh, and then right here as well, like you see Vel holding Mordred's sword from Fate's Apocrypha. There's something that looks a lot like it. This sounds awesome. Like whenever Vel like screams, I just get hyped. But as you can see, Bell has a new design and a cool looking weapon. So, like I said, this event is divided into 2 parts. So we're probably gonna see like 2 different batches of banners, like with Argonaut. And that Bell is definitely going to be one of the characters that you can draw from. So it's not just going to be these new characters that were revealed from today's stream. Bell is likely a character for the second half. And we did see Aisha in the PV. Of course, it was an image from the anime. And I like that face that Haruhime makes. Like, that's not one you normally see her make. Like, she usually has this innocent looking face. But anyway. But yeah, that was a really hype PV. And as I was saying earlier, like, we have these characters right here revealed, and we can probably assume that Belle will be one of the new characters in the second part of the event, and Aisha likely just because we saw her in the PV, And because Aisha likes to hang around Haruhime as like this big sister type figure, so I wouldn't be surprised seeing Aisha here. But as for the other characters that might be in part 2, it'd be really cool to see like some of the original characters we just saw in the PV be added into DanMemo, because technically we did already get original characters. Of course, they resembled the ones we know a lot through the Argonaut event. Like, Argonaut is technically a different character from Bell despite the resemblance, so hopefully that meant the spark of new characters, original characters in DanMemo just being added into the game. And of course, as I said, Omori-sensei is probably the one that wrote these characters in, so I wouldn't mind seeing them just have units in DanMemo itself. But let's go over some of the new art that was teased. We don't have the skills quite yet. They're going to reveal that next week, which is also when the events will start. Here we have Silver Fox Haruhime. Now we don't know which ones are going to be assists or adventures. I kind of think that this Haruhime will be an assist, but we'll just have to see. We have Chigusa right here. Frosty Bloom's Chigusa. Winter War God Take, so he's definitely an assist because most gods end up being assists with the exception of Hermes from the Kino Shippuden collaboration event. Elegant Vanguard Ryu. So I don't think she's going to be an assist. If she is, I made a bet a long time ago that I would eat my shoe, and I kind of took a small bite of it when Ryulu got a character. But Vanguard telling me that she's definitely an adventurer, and I can't wait to see what her role is in the story. I hope she has sweet moments with Bell, but it's a very interesting like PV we got there with Bell fighting with someone. Like, it almost seems like they're on a ship or something's going down, but it's really cool to see how Ryu ends up in all of this as well. And here's Gift Goddess Hestia, and of course she's the event character that we can grind for. And just a cool little fact, or a little tidbit, Hestia and Ryu have appeared in every single Christmas event now. Like, we had 3 so far, this being the 3rd, and now Ryu and Hestia are basically mainstays for Christmas. So if Christmas is coming, get ready for the best elf and a goddess. And tomorrow night's War Games is popping up. And keep in mind, for those of you with the US version of the game, like me, it's also the pre-round for Familia War Games, so make sure your Familia is on top of it and tries to get as high rank as they can in War Games so you have a better placing for Familia War Game. Good luck to you all. And to just go over the upcoming schedule, again, all these dates are for Japanese Standard Time for some reason, but we'll just convert them as we go along here. On the 12th, which is tonight, you probably see it in your game right now, is the 48-hour pickup gacha for Seer. Now on the 13th, which is tomorrow, is the launch of the Hero paid bundle, as well as the free 11 draw, and then Familia Rush will also start. And then the War Games will start for both EU and the US. On the 14th will be Bell's Gacha, on the 16th will be the start of Lufia's Gacha, on the 18th Eina's Gacha, and then finally on the 20th next week is Winter Reverie. So very excited for the start of that event. It looks really exciting, and it's 2 parts as well, written by Fujino Omori-sensei. Can't wait for that to start. I did say earlier I would try to start streaming like events and play through them with you guys, so you can see my reaction to the events and just experience that with you guys. And I'll give you a notice like on Twitter, on YouTube, on Discord when I will be streaming this event. And what a way to start out streaming DanMemo with an event written by Fujino Omori. Very exciting, and then Ryu is also going to be a part of it, of course, naturally. Can't wait. So make sure you guys are keeping your Iris stockpiled, because we're about to blow it all on Haruhime, Ryu, probably the new Bell, and whoever else pops up in the new gachas. And then they also, remember, we're getting a collaboration event at some point. They did say January as an estimate, so we got to be very careful on how we spend our Iris from here on, but a lot of temptations coming up. And I did say my Sororatoria Volume 10 review is coming. It's actually all recorded. I just have to edit it, and I probably won't get around to that until tomorrow because it's really late right now for me coming back from the Konosuba movie, so please forgive me, but I really did enjoy Volume 10. It's one of my top 3 volumes in Sororatoria, so look forward to that tomorrow night. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it informative. Hope you're excited for the upcoming event. If you want to see more Danmachi content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord. And as always, continue enjoying your time adventuring Mario and a dungeon. This is Lauren, your guild advisor, signing out.